Sharon's caring, she's very considerate, she's loving.
He's so funny. We laugh so much.
She's very smart, very beautiful.
He's very sweet and kind and generous, and he's a gentleman, which I really like. He's really old-fashioned. He opens car doors.
She loves our baby kitten, Leo.
He's a lot nicer than me. So I think he teaches me a thing or two and brings out my better qualities.
I love her very much, and I can't wait to spend the rest of my life with her.
You stuck on me in my laughing eyes. I can't pretend, though I try to hide. I like you. I like you. I think I felt my
Josh and I met at a bar in New York City in Murray Hill, where we both lived, called Joshua Tree.
It was a Yankee playoff game about 4 years ago.
I was actually not supposed to be going to that bar that night. I was supposed to be going on this boat cruise with some friends, and then last minute we decided not to go, and then someone in the group said, let's go to Joshua Tree and dance to 80s music. So we randomly ended up there, and then my friends and I were all in the back, and Josh and his friends walked in, and I immediately noticed him and thought he was so cute.
First thing a bunch of single guys do when they walk into a bar is you scope it out. And sure enough, I found the most beautiful girl in the bar, and I said, that's the girl who I want to meet.
A girl that was with my group went up to one of his friends because he had a Yankee hat on and she wanted to find out the score of the game.
Those people who know me know I'm a chicken. So I had to wait for Sharon to approach me and start talking to me.
I went up to him and started talking to him, and we talked the whole night. We were there until like 4 a.m.
After a night of hanging out, we basically knew that was it.
He put me in a cab and I went home. And I said to my roommate, I went to her room and I said, I'm gonna marry him.
Sure enough, the next day I was at a pickle festival. I decided to call her that day and ask her out on a date.
He said, tomorrow, do you wanna go out to dinner? So we went out to dinner and we had a great time, and then we've been together ever since.
We're walking in a mall one day, or probably a mall, and Sharon grabs me by the arm and she says, hey Josh, let's look at rings. So I'm like, okay, that's an interesting question. So we go look at the rings, and sure enough, she's looking, and she says to me, oh, how does this one look? And how does that one look? And how does that one look? I was like, they all look great. So sure enough, a couple months down the road, we keep playing the same game, and I'm figuring that's probably time. So I ended up getting the ring, and she basically said, well, surprise me. And I said, no, I'm not gonna surprise you because it's a ring and I want you to love it. So she basically gave me a little cheat sheet as to what I should buy her. So I bought it, it's a beautiful ring, and then the next hardest part of the equation was giving it to her and proposing. I went through countless different opportunities and different ways to do it and trying to think of the best way. So sure enough, we were going to Venice. So I wanted to make the trip really memorable and to try and figure out which would be the best time. So at first, I was going to do it in the airport before we got on the plane. And then there was too many people, and back to the whole me being a chicken, I didn't do it then. Then I decided maybe I'll do it on the plane. And at that point, it was already 10 o'clock at night, and I went up and asked the stewardess if I could borrow the mic, and they said no. And then I looked back at Sharon, and she was sleeping anyway. So then I decided we'll do it when we get to Venice.
I actually knew he was going to propose on the trip because I'm really bad at having anyone surprise me, and I basically got it out of him and harassed him until he would tell me. And I kind of ruined it, the surprise, but he was a really good sport about it.
I grabbed the ring, we're walking over a nice piazza, and
all of a sudden he just grabbed me and got down on one knee.
Basically told her that I loved her and wanted to spend the rest of my life with her, and asked her to marry me, and well, she said yes.
It was so special and romantic because we were in Venice.
Sharon's best friend, Stephanie, ended up reaching out to me before we went on our trip to tell me that she wanted to celebrate our engagement by throwing Sharon a surprise party. Sharon is the worst at keeping secrets, so I figured this would be a good one. We get back from our trip, it's late at night, it's a long day of travel, and we're driving to Hoboken, and now I'm getting nervous because I haven't spoken to her friend, and so I have no idea what's going on. So all of a sudden, her friend meets us down in the garage.
We walk upstairs and open the door, and our apartment's pitch black, and all of a sudden, surprise! And there's 30 of our best friends, and it was such an exciting moment. It was so special, and I was really, really surprised. No one had ever thrown a surprise or anything like that, and then Josh kind of gave me this look and started laughing. He was like, I got you.
You got me.